Inside every home, there exists an invisible energy gateway. This gateway can either open the floodgates to wealth and prosperity or quietly sweep it all away without anyone noticing. The strange thing is, this gateway is not located at the front door, nor is it in the living room, like many people believe. Instead, it hides deep within the kitchen, the place you walk into every day without ever paying much attention. Most people believe that wealth comes from hard work, careers, or smart investments. But here's the truth that very few actually know. The kitchen might just be the starting point that determines your financial destiny. In today's video, I am going to share a Feng Shui secret about a very specific spot in your kitchen, one that can unlock the flow of abundance, help you hold on to your money, and attract even more of it into your life. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you will not miss out on powerful Feng Shui secrets that could completely change the way you attract wealth. And before we begin, leave a comment with this positive affirmation. I am ready to open a new door and welcome the flow of prosperity and wealth into my life. What most people do not realize is this: the kitchen is the true heart of the home. It is where the energy of wealth begins to form. In Feng Shui, the kitchen is not just a place for cooking. It is the energy center that determines stability, health, and prosperity for the entire family. Think about it. Every meal you cook does more than just nourish the body. It transfers energy to every member of your household. When the kitchen is warm, clean, and well-stocked, it radiates a positive frequency that promotes harmony, good health, and an easier path to attracting abundance. But if the kitchen is dark, messy, or neglected, it sends out a message of lack, making it difficult for good fortune and wealth to stay for long. Ancient wisdom teaches us that the kitchen is a place of transformation. From raw ingredients, through the hands of the cook, they become a precious source of nourishment. That process is not just cooking, it is the transformation of raw energy into refined energy, which shapes the balance of the entire household. A neat, well-lit, and carefully maintained kitchen sends a message to the universe that you are ready to receive abundance. The kitchen is the foundation. It can either act like a magnet that attracts wealth, or a leaky spot where money slowly slips away. If you truly want to be wealthy, do not underestimate the power of your kitchen. This is where prosperity begins. Money might be quietly leaving your home every single day, and the culprit is no one else but your kitchen. Because inside it, there is a secret spot that determines the entire flow of abundance in your life. So where is this hidden spot? Let's go through each key element to understand why it holds so much power. 1. The stove, the flame that holds your wealth. In Feng Shui, the stove is not just a place to prepare meals. It is considered the heart of abundance. The flame in your stove symbolizes life, health, and prosperity. When your stove is used regularly, with a steady flame, it sends a signal that this household is warm, abundant, and consistently maintains financial flow. Every meal you cook not only feeds your body, but also nourishes the energy of wealth in your home. On the other hand, a cold stove that rarely gets used represents a flame that has died out, a sign that prosperity has stalled and financial opportunities may quietly slip away. A stove that is only there for show, never used, is a strong indicator that the energy of wealth is being forgotten. So whether you live alone or have a big family, keeping your stove alive and in use is incredibly important. It acts like an invisible lighthouse, guiding prosperity to find its way to you. 2. The southeast corner, the wealth spot in your kitchen. Here is something fascinating that most people overlook. In Feng Shui, not every corner of the kitchen carries the same energy. Some areas are just ordinary, but one specific spot is seen as the wealth point, a place that decides whether money flows into your home or slips right out. That spot is the southeast corner of your kitchen. According to Feng Shui, the southeast direction represents growth, expansion, and prosperity. If this area is bright, clean, and tidy, it works like an open doorway that welcomes the flow of wealth energy into your life. But if it is dark, cluttered, or neglected, that energy gets blocked before it can even enter. And if you place a trash can or broken appliances there, it is almost like creating a leak that lets money quietly drain away. So here is the key. Take a look at the southeast corner of your kitchen today. Is it giving off a positive energy that invites prosperity in? Or is it silently pushing financial opportunities away from your home? The answer might just be the reason why you have never been able to hold on to your money for long. 3. The balance between fire and water. In every kitchen, there are always two opposing elements: fire from the stove and water from the sink or a nearby restroom. In Feng Shui, these two represent completely opposite energies. Fire symbolizes prosperity and vital life force, while water represents flow and constant change. When these elements are arranged in harmony, they complement each other. But if they are placed incorrectly, they can create conflict and weaken the flow of wealth in your household. If the stove is placed too close to the sink or directly across from a restroom, it is like letting water put out the fire. In Feng Shui terms, it means that money flows in only to be washed away, making it hard to build lasting financial stability. On the other hand, if the stove is placed against a strong, solid wall, symbolizing support and protection, then the flow of prosperity can be held, stabilized, and sustained for the long term. The key thing to remember is that wealth is not just about how much money you make. It also depends on how well you can hold on to it. And the balance between fire and water in your kitchen is the key to maintaining lasting prosperity. 4. Cleanliness, the key to holding on to wealth. Have you ever noticed how you feel when you walk into a clean, bright kitchen where everything is tidy and organized? That sense of lightness, calm, and ease does not just come from how it looks. It comes from the positive energy that fills the space. In Feng Shui, cleanliness is not just a hygiene habit, it is the key to holding on to abundance. A cluttered kitchen, full of grease, broken items, or overflowing trash, radiates heavy, stagnant energy. That kind of energy represents stagnation and lack. When it fills your kitchen, it becomes difficult for prosperity to flow in, and even if it does, it will likely get blocked. On the flip side, when a kitchen is cared for daily, kept tidy and refreshed, you are sending out a signal that your household respects abundance and is ready to receive more. The truth is, cleaning your kitchen is also clearing the path for wealth energy to enter. A spotless countertop, a bright kitchen corner, or an organized fridge can make a much bigger difference than you might think. Prosperity cannot exist in chaos. It only thrives in spaces that are clean, bright, and full of life. 5. Wealth-activating objects. Sometimes just a few small touches in your kitchen can completely shift the flow of energy. Ancient wisdom teaches that symbolic objects carrying positive energy have the power to awaken the prosperity that is lying dormant. And the great news is, you can apply this concept in simple ways, right in your own kitchen. A healthy green plant placed in the southeast corner symbolizes continuous growth and development, just like wealth multiplying over time. A clear glass bowl filled with a few shiny coins can gently remind your subconscious that abundance is always present and ready to expand. If you want to take it a step further, you can place a small lamp with a warm yellow glow to turn that corner into a glowing point of wealth attraction. These objects do not need to be expensive or elaborate. What matters most is the meaning and energy they carry. When you intentionally place symbols of abundance in your kitchen, you are sending a powerful message to the universe. This household is ready to open its doors to prosperity and good fortune. 6. Light, opening the gateway to prosperity. Imagine walking into a kitchen that is dark and gloomy, where the wealth corner is hidden in the shadows. How would that make you feel? It definitely would not give off a sense of abundance or well-being. In Feng Shui, light is a symbol of life, opportunity, and prosperity. A well-lit space allows positive energy to flow freely, while darkness blocks the path and disrupts the flow of wealth. When the kitchen, especially the wealth area, is well lit, it acts like an open doorway, inviting prosperity to pour in. On the other hand, if this area is left in the shadows, it is as if you have unknowingly locked that door shut. It is no coincidence that homes filled with natural light tend to feel more fresh, hopeful, and naturally lucky. If your home lacks natural sunlight, you can add artificial lighting, especially warm yellow light. Not only does it create a cozy atmosphere, but it also represents yang energy, the kind of energy that nourishes prosperity. When you bring light into the right places, you are opening a gateway where wealth can flow freely into your life. 7. A well-stocked kitchen, a symbol of abundance. Have you ever opened your fridge or pantry and found it nearly empty, with just a few leftover items? That moment often comes with a subtle feeling of worry or lack, like the home is running low on energy. In Feng Shui, food is not only nourishment for the body, it is a direct symbol of wealth and abundance. A kitchen that is well stocked with food always sends out a message that the household is provided for, safe, and ready to welcome even more prosperity. On the flip side, an empty fridge or nearly bare pantry symbolizes poverty and scarcity. When that kind of energy takes over the kitchen, it tends to reflect back into real life, making it harder for you to feel financially secure. Something as simple as keeping a fridge full of vegetables, fruits, or a few prepared meals can completely shift the energy in your home. Remember, Feng Shui is not just about where you place objects. It is about the feelings and energy you create in your life. A kitchen filled with food not only brings comfort every time you open a cabinet or door, it is a powerful reminder that you are already living in abundance, and that energy becomes a magnet, quietly attracting more prosperity to your life. 8. Emotional energy, the invisible magnet. Every home has its own unique atmosphere, and the kitchen is where you can feel it most clearly. Some kitchens instantly make you feel warm, relaxed, and full of life the moment you walk in. Others feel heavy, stagnant, or even draining, as if the energy in that space is stuck. That is no coincidence. It is actually a reflection of how the emotional energy in the kitchen is affecting you on a daily basis. In Feng Shui, emotions act as an invisible stream of energy. If you feel peaceful and fulfilled when you are in your kitchen, you are sending out positive signals that attract money and luck. But if the space is dark and cluttered, making you feel annoyed or uninspired, then you are broadcasting a very different signal, one that pulls in more stress and lack. That is why keeping your kitchen tidy, bright, and refreshed is not just about cleaning. It is a way of cultivating positive emotions. And those emotions act like an invisible magnet, quietly drawing wealth and financial opportunities closer to your family. The secret wealth-attracting spot in your kitchen is not some distant mystery. It is the combination of your stove, the flame of life, and the southeast corner, the Feng Shui wealth point. When you take care of these elements properly, keeping the space clean, well lit, decorated with greenery, free of trash, and full of vibrant energy, you are opening up an invisible gateway for wealth to enter. Do not underestimate this power, because sometimes a major financial shift does not come from complex plans. It comes from the smallest changes, right in the kitchen you walk into every single day. We have already talked about the secret location in the kitchen that can open the gateway to prosperity. But to fully activate the right energy and keep the flow of abundance moving smoothly, it is not just about what you should do. It is also about what you must absolutely avoid. Because even one small mistake can turn your kitchen, a space meant to attract wealth, into a place where money leaks away uncontrollably. Here are the most important things to avoid if you do not want to accidentally shut the door on prosperity in your home. 1. Placing a trash can in the wealth corner or near the stove. Most people do not realize that something as simple as a trash can placed in the wrong spot could be the reason why money keeps flowing out of the house. In Feng Shui, the trash can always carries energy of removal and depletion. If it is placed in the southeast corner of the kitchen, known as the wealth point, or right next to the stove, the heart of prosperity, then you are unknowingly draining away the flow of abundance. Every time you throw something in the trash, your subconscious registers it as a kind of loss. Over time, this builds up a sense of lack and prevents wealth from staying with you long term. To avoid opening an exit for prosperity, move the trash can away from these two key areas. If it must be in the kitchen, choose one with a sealed lid and keep it clean at all times. That way, you protect the positive energy while keeping your family's finances stable. 2. Leaving the stove or wealth corner. Messy and dirty. The kitchen is a direct reflection of your family's abundance. If the stove or the wealth corner is cluttered, dusty, or covered in grease, the flow of prosperity will get blocked. In Feng Shui, clutter acts like an invisible wall. It stops opportunities and money from getting close to you. The messier the space, the harder it is for positive energy to circulate, creating a feeling of lack, both emotionally and financially. Keeping this area clean, bright, and organized is one of the simplest ways to reopen the door to abundance in your home. 3. Keeping broken or damaged items in the kitchen. Every item in your kitchen carries a certain type of energy. When you hold on to broken or damaged things, that energy shifts from abundance to a feeling of decay and stagnation. A chipped bowl, a leaking pot, or a blender that no longer works all act as subtle reminders that prosperity in your home is breaking down. In Feng Shui, these objects disrupt the flow of wealth, making it harder for abundance to stick around. Instead of letting them take up space, either repair them or be bold enough to throw them out. When you clear out these negative energy pieces, you create space to welcome in something new, vibrant, and full of wealth potential. 4. Having the stove and sink face each other. In every home, the stove and sink are two of the most frequently used areas, but if they happen to be placed directly facing each other, this creates a major energetic conflict in Feng Shui. The stove represents fire, the energy of life and prosperity. The sink represents water, the element of draining and flow. When fire and water directly face off, it creates constant energetic clashes. The image of water putting out fire is seen as a symbol of money being hard to hold on to. As soon as it enters, it quickly flows away. If this is the case in your kitchen, do not panic. You can easily fix it by placing a green plant or a wooden divider between the two. Plants act as a neutral element that balances fire and water, while wood symbolizes stability, helping reduce the clash and keeping your financial energy steady. 5. Hanging a mirror that reflects the stove. Many people believe that adding a mirror to the kitchen makes the space feel bigger and brighter. But in Feng Shui, if a mirror reflects the flame of the stove directly, it is actually a sign of imbalance. Fire symbolizes warmth and abundance, but when the flame is duplicated in a mirror, it creates overly intense energy. This can lead to tension, arguments within the family, and financial instability. Instead of enhancing prosperity, a mirror that reflects the stove can unintentionally burn away the harmony of the home. If you currently have a mirror facing your stove, consider replacing it with bright lighting, a light-colored wall, or artwork that brings in positive energy. These changes will still keep your kitchen beautiful while making sure the flow of prosperity remains strong and stable. 6. Leaving the wealth corner in darkness. Think about it. Can you find a treasure chest in a pitch-dark room? Of course not. It is the same in Feng Shui. Wealth can only grow in a place filled with light. If the wealth corner in your kitchen is left in darkness, the energy of abundance will be blocked, just like a locked door. Even if you place plants or Feng Shui objects there, they will not work effectively without proper lighting. The fix is simple. Let natural light flow into that space, or install a small light with a warm yellow glow. When your wealth corner is bright and full of light, you are opening a new energy gateway, a path for money to freely flow into your life. 7. An empty refrigerator or pantry. One of the clearest reflections of a household's abundance is the refrigerator and pantry. If they are nearly empty or contain only a few scattered items, the kitchen gives off an energy of lack. In Feng Shui, food represents nourishment, safety, and wealth. When your food storage areas are empty, you are unknowingly sending a signal that prosperity is running dry in your home. Try shifting this energy by always keeping a few basic items stocked: fresh vegetables, fruit, or simple ready-to-eat meals. Just seeing that fullness every day can give you the sense that abundance is all around you, and that very feeling will help attract more financial opportunities into your life. 8. Not using the stove for long periods of time. No matter how beautiful a kitchen is, it becomes meaningless if the stove is never used. In Feng Shui, the stove flame is the heart of abundance. When it is left unused for too long, the flame, which symbolizes warmth and prosperity, begins to die out, and financial energy slows down with it. A stove that is only for show, never turned on, is like a treasure chest that stays locked, never opened. To keep the energy of wealth alive, you do not need to cook elaborate meals. Boiling a pot of tea, preparing a simple dish, or even just turning the stove on once a day is enough to keep the wealth flame burning in your home. 9. Cluttering the wealth corner with random items. The wealth corner in your kitchen should be one of the most respected and well-kept spaces, but in many households, it is unintentionally turned into a random storage area. Empty boxes, old bottles, or even broken items stacked there act like a wall blocking wealth from entering. In Feng Shui, this corner is seen as the entrance to abundance, and when it is buried under meaningless clutter, the energy of prosperity cannot flow. If you want wealth to visit your home, keep this area neat, intentional, and reserved for positive energy boosters, like plants, lighting, or lucky symbols. Just one small change here can brighten up the whole kitchen and kickstart the flow of prosperity. The kitchen can either be a powerful source that nourishes prosperity or a draining hole where your finances slip away, and it all depends on how you care for and use this space. Avoiding the mistakes above is how you protect abundance from slipping out of your life. When your kitchen is clean, bright, tidy, and used with intention, you are opening up an invisible doorway that welcomes wealth and good fortune into your home. Once you have cleared away the things that block abundance in your kitchen, the next step is learning how to activate and strengthen the energy of wealth. Think of it like preparing a garden before planting seeds. Once the space is clean and fresh, it is the perfect time to sow those seeds of prosperity. The first thing you should do is keep the wealth corner and the stove area clean and well lit. Natural sunlight or a small warm yellow lamp helps awaken positive energy. A space that is free from dust and clutter becomes like a flowing river, ready to carry wealth into your home. Next, add in symbols of abundance. A healthy green plant represents growth. A clear glass bowl filled with shiny coins or a few crisp new bills signals prosperity. And even something as simple as a small wind chime, with its gentle sound ringing through the kitchen, can be enough to invite good fortune. Finally, do not forget to keep the kitchen flame alive. Whether you are preparing a full meal or just boiling water, using the stove daily is one of the most powerful ways to keep financial energy moving. And when you cook with joy and gratitude, that positive energy turns your kitchen into a magnet that draws prosperity to your entire family. Your kitchen is not just a place for cooking. It is the energetic heart of your home. It can either become a leak that drains away your wealth, or a powerful gateway that opens the flow of abundance, and that all depends on how you care for it. When you avoid the common mistakes and take intentional steps to activate positive energy, your kitchen transforms into a wealth magnet that protects health, supports happiness, and brings financial blessings to your whole family. Remember, Feng Shui is not some distant magic. It is the connection between your living space and your state of mind. When you keep your kitchen bright, clean, well-stocked, and full of uplifting energy, you are sending a message that you are ready to receive abundance. and the universe will always respond to that belief with more and better opportunities. Leave a positive affirmation in the comments, something like, "I open the door to welcome prosperity and joy into my life every single day." It is a wonderful way to spark a fresh wave of energy for yourself, starting today.